Hi, welcome to the blackbox22 training videos. Today I want to talk to you about how you customize your annotations that Blackbox uses whenever it's generating a drawing. You can see in my CAD viewer that I have two pits and a stormwater pipe, and I'm using some very basic annotations. So today I'm going to show you how I go about updating these annotations. Now the annotation dialog box is located in your drawing output settings. So to get started, you need to go to your Settings, Drawing Output Settings menu. Drawing output settings are used whenever you're generating a drawing, and you can say what you want the layer name to be, the entity color, and the entity line type. And if you're generating text, you can say what you want the text layer to be, the text color, text style, text size, and the text line type. Now if we go into the Properties dialog box, these are the property values that Blackbox will use when it's determining which feature in your project to use to associate with these settings. And in this case, we're using stormwater pipe. And the last column is where you access the annotation dialog. At the top of the dialog is the category and feature type. Below that is the Build Annotation table, and this is where you will create and update your annotation. And just above the Annotation table is the Add and Remove column buttons. To the left is the Add and Remove row buttons. On the right-hand side of the Annotation Generator is the Preview table. Now the preview table will update as you build your annotation and can be used as an example of how the annotation might look in a drawing. So to get started with the pipe annotation, I'm going to click into the first cell, and when I do, the drop-down dialog box appears. If I click on the drop-down arrow, I can now see all of the properties associated with stormwater pipe. So as I'm building my annotation, I can use any or all of the properties associated with this feature. At the very top, it's going to be the custom text item. Custom text is any value in your annotation that is not a property. So I'm going to use custom text, and now that allows me to type directly into the table. And to get started, I'm going to type in UIL for upstream invert level, and then I'm going to make sure that I include my space. So space is good for formatting and for separating your values in the annotation table. I click Enter on the keyboard, and now I need another column, so I click the Add Column button. If I tick into the cell, and then on the drop-down arrow, I can now choose the property for the upstream invert level. Now I need another row, so I tick on the Add Row button and tick into the cell. And again, I choose Custom Text, and this allows me to type into the annotation table. And this time I'm going to type in DIL for downstream invert level, and I'm going to make sure that I include my space. In the next column, I'm going to choose the drop-down arrow. I'm going to choose the property for the downstream invert level. I need another row, and it's going to be custom text, but this time I need the theta symbol. So what I can do for this particular symbol is if I type in %%C, whenever AutoCAD's creating mtext and it comes across %%C, it will substitute in the theta symbol. So I want to make sure again that I include my space. And then in the next column, I want to choose the pipe diameter. I need another column, so I choose the Add Column button. And then I'm going to choose Custom Text again. And this time I just need a space because I'm going to be separating two property values. So click Enter. Now I need another column. And in this cell, I'm going to choose the pipe material. And you can see as I'm building up my table, in the preview table, this has been updating also. So I need one more row for this annotation. And so I want to choose the pipe length. And then in the last cell, custom text, and I just need a space and M. And so now I've just finished updating the annotation for my stormwater pipes. I need to make sure that I click OK. And now that brings me back to the drawing output settings dialog box. So I go along to the stormwater point features and I look for the pit settings. And so I tick in the properties and I make sure that I am indeed looking at stormwater pits for these settings, and I am. And then I go into the last column, which is the annotation column. And here I want to update my annotation, so I just need to add a new row. Choose custom text. And this time I'm going to type in SL for surface level, include my space. I need a new column. And here I'm going to choose the elevation for the stormwater pit. And so now I've updated the annotation for my stormwater pit, and I click OK. Now I need to make sure that I click Save and Exit so the settings are updated also. And so now all I need to do is just generate my drawing with the annotations. And so I'm going to choose the Generate Drawing dialog box. And I want to make sure that I have user settings ticked. Council settings are specific for the council that you're dealing with and cannot be changed by the user. So if I'm using the drawing output settings, those are user settings that are controlled by me, the user. So I need to make sure that user settings has been ticked. And also important is that I let Blackbox know that I want it to draw the line feature text and the point feature text. I need to select all and then generate and exit. And now you can see that Blackbox has updated the annotation, and for the pits I now have the surface level included. And if I go over to the pipe, I can see that it's updated this annotation also. And so this is an example of how you can update the annotation text for your drawing. Thank you.